Did you know Tarzan, Frozen, Ariel, Snow White, and Beauty and the Beast are all connected? So we know Tarzan's parents were caught in a shipwreck, stranded in the jungle and eaten by tigers. In Ariel, we can see their sunken ship at the bottom of the ocean. We also know Elsa's parents were lost at sea and never returned, so everyone assumed they didn't survive the storm. But what if they did? Don't they look strangely similar to Tarzan's parents? But that couldn't possibly mean Tarzan is Elsa and Anna's long-lost brother, and in Tarzan we see Turk playing with teacups left over from the shipwreck. But haven't we seen these before? They're the exact same teacups as the enchanted workers in the Beast's castle. But that must mean Tarzan grows up to be the Beast. He even looks exactly like the Beast's human form. They've even both got the same riz. And we know the Beast also has a magic mirror that shows you whatever you want to see. But doesn't that sound familiar? That's the exact same mirror used by the Evil Queen in Snow White, and the Evil Queen's castle looks identical to the Beast's. So that must mean the Evil Queen is the Beast's daughter? That's why she knows how to curse Snow White, because her father was cursed himself. This might be the world's wackiest family tree, so that's why I asked. Did you know Tarzan, Frozen, Ariel, Snow White, and Beauty and the Beast are all connected? So we know Tarzan's parents were caught in a shipwreck, stranded in the jungle and eaten by tigers. In Ariel, we can see their sunken ship at the bottom of the ocean. We also know Elsa's parents were lost at sea and never returned, so everyone assumed they didn't survive.
I don't know about that one. But my favorite comment in there was Riz.
Do y'all know about the different entities of sleep paralysis?
Not the different ones, but I know that like it's
there's the man in the hat,
the Hat Man, the shadow people.
There's one called the Hag, and it's like it's like an old.
First off, if any of y'all seen this, drop that shit in the comment, man. If you ever seen any of these entities and sleep paralysis, have you guys ever woke up in the middle of the night but you feel like you can't move? All right. Do you see anything there?
Old lady.
The Hag.
The Hag, dude.
The Hag.
Dude.
I've never heard that. But my uncle, they were living in this house. He got up one morning to like get some water, and he was walking back to his room and he heard something in the kitchen. He turned around and there was an old lady standing in the kitchen. And he just like freaked out, and like the dog barked, and he looked down and looked back, gone. He didn't tell anyone that. The next night, his son was sleeping, and the dog was sleeping on the bed and started barking. And he opened his eyes, and at the foot of his bed was an old lady. And then she just walked out the door, gone.
Dude, I hate this.
What's up? Sleep is so weird.
I am afraid.
That was the scary.
I'm very scared.
We'll get Hardy to tuck you in tonight.
Can you?
Did you know why ancient Egyptians always had cats around them? There's a dark reason. So do cats randomly come up to you?
Sometimes. Why?
So if a cat comes up to you, it means you are carrying really bad or negative energy. This is one of the many reasons why ancient Egyptians always had cats around them in their homes and in temples, because they thought cats have ability to absorb bad energy. They believed cats had protective qualities both physically and spiritually. They are kind of like little energy cleaners. That's why you'll often see a cat cozying up to someone who might unknowingly be carrying negative energy, and who always has cats in folklore, the witches, because they are dealing with negative energies, and cats are said to help them absorb and neutralize these dark forces. The idea.
I'll tell you a psychological truth that you must know. Sigmund Freud said this. The more perfect a person is on the outside, the more demons they have on the inside. Beware of people who seem too virtuous, who seem too good. They might be hiding something. And on the flip side, just remember somebody who's rough around the edges. Someone who's always not absolute nicest. They might be your most loyal friend in time of need. I'll tell you psychological.
You guys ever hear about the lost library of Nineveh?
No, I have not.
So Ashurbanipal was the last great king of the Neo-Assyrian Empire, ruling from Nineveh from 668 to 627 BC. This dude was obsessed with understanding everything, and so he founded this library in Nineveh, which wasn't discovered until the mid-19th century by a British archaeologist, Austin Henry Layard. And he found over 30,000 tablets.
Jeez.
And that's where we found the Epic of Gilgamesh.
Oh my gosh.
But what's fascinating is that the stuff that they did find rewrote a lot of Middle Eastern history, because they talked about old war campaigns, kings that no one has ever heard of.
Wow.
But then there's thousands of these tablets talking about advanced astrology. They said in today's standards is still very advanced.
That's amazing.
And what's creepy, Ashurbanipal claimed to possess access to knowledge from before the flood, suggesting he may have been aware of ancient, perhaps lost or suppressed knowledge. This is a quote from, I have studied inscriptions from before the flood. I can solve intricate divisions, multiplications, mathematics, and writing.
Mhm.
And then he said, I have read the secret tablets of the gods.
The Watchers?
I mean,
Golly, dude.
so that got me thinking. I'm like, he said he was a divine king,
Yeah.
and that the Assyrian gods are the true mighty gods. No other god can stand against the Assyrian gods. But then you think like, okay, well, God, was he also like, I don't want you people to read these. You guys ever hear about the lost library of Nineveh?
No, I have not.
So have you ever heard of the Roswell of Texas? Happened in 1897, and this supposed UFO crashed in Aurora, Texas, 50 years before Roswell and 5 years before the Wright brothers had a plane. Super duper small town in Texas. But there was one early morning, this rancher and his son, they went out to go herd the cattle, and they heard this loud humming overhead. Multiple witnesses, they just saw this cigar-shaped, metallic-looking UFO go right over them. And they've never seen a flying machine in their life. So they're like, what the heck? And then all of a sudden they heard like, and they saw like a fireball and stuff. It just exploded. And then when people came across the scene, they report there was a humanoid-like creature that was half the size of a man. And then on the craft, there was strange hieroglyphic writings and stuff. But what they ended up doing was, supposedly, they took this body and gave him a Christian burial in their graveyard.
No way.
And they put like parts of the craft and put it in the same hole. It wasn't until the 70s where this investigative journalist went out there. And then he went and interviewed all the people that were kids at the time that saw the thing. He's like, it happened. And he asked about, is there anything weird? He's like, ever since that incident happened on our farm, we've not been able to grow anything. And our family has had just these terrible sicknesses.
No way.
And a lot of doctors compared it to like radiation poisoning.
That's messed up, man. That's so scary.
Have you ever heard of the Roswell of Texas? Happened. There's this thing, it's called the Friendship Case. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
The story's so weird and bizarre, really hard to believe. In 1956, there was these Italian men apparently found this map of this castle that was close to them. They got there, and these two, they said they looked like humans, but they weren't. One of them was 10 feet tall, and the other one was 3 feet tall.
Stooges.
They were aliens. They went by W56. But apparently these alien people, they have these underground bases. They said they've been here for centuries. They even have bases in the ocean. Their whole purpose of being on Earth is to save humanity from themselves, especially regarding nuclear bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
But apparently there's 100 witnesses to these people. And there's photo evidence and video evidence of them showing them their flying saucers. But they said the only way that their technology works is if there is friendship and love.
What?
So like if we're not experiencing love within humanity or friendship or compassion, they said our technology doesn't work.
That's really cute.
It's like Santa's sleigh.
But they said that there's another group of aliens that have been here since they've been here, the CTR, basically their enemies. And it says they are described as materialistic and strictly scientific, more cold and calculated. Witnesses have depicted the CTR as human-like, often bald, and seen driving dark Mercedes limousines in Italy, reminiscent of the Men in Black phenomena reported elsewhere.
Crazy.
Yeah, there's this thing, it's called the Friendship Case. Have you guys ever heard of the Antikythera mechanism?
No.
So listen to this. In 1901, there was these divers off the coast of Greece, and they found this box with ancient Greek items, all the stuff that came from ancient Greece. And they pulled out, it was just like this giant rusted block, and it had mechanisms. The gears that were in this thing They did not have that technology.
Oh no.
They started doing more research on this thing. They realized it was way more complex than they thought.
Mhm.
They brought this 3D X-ray machine
Okay.
to the museum that it was held at. They examined it, and there was a user manual guide
What?
in it. It was written in ancient Greek, and it was basically supposed to be a automated dial system. You could wind it up to 10 years and know exactly where the sun is going to be, where the moon's going to be. They could predict when there was going to be a solar eclipse. Arthur C. Clarke, who's the author of Space Odyssey, he said, if the ancient Greeks knew of the capabilities of technology they created, they could have gone to the moon in 300 years. And now we would be exploring the stars. Have you guys ever heard of the Antikythera mechanism?
The Grand Canyon, one of the world's wonders. There's a theory that the Grand Canyon holds something that none of us knew was there. So back in the 1850s, right?
Yeah.
The Grand Canyon was used to mine gold.
Okay.
Did you know that? Now, the Grand Canyon, when people started mining it, the gold index crashed because they found so much gold there.
Okay.
Now, what happened was the government and the military, they closed it off and they made it a sanctuary so that nobody can just go there and then take whatever they want. But there was this one guy, his name was Seth Tanner, and he was an explorer. He explored this one cave in the Grand Canyon, and he claims what he saw was ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics in one of the caves.
Oh, what did it say?
Now, the theory is that the Grand Canyon, it actually holds the lost city of El Dorado.
What?
Like, you know, the lost gold city of El Dorado.
Yeah, the whole city.
The whole city. So if you think about it, it's never found. That ancient tale that all of the natives talk about, the lost city, the gold city, is never found. Now, the theory is that it's literally in the Grand Canyon, deep in these caves. And the reason the government and the world is trying to keep it a secret is because it would crash the gold price. Like, gold would be useless if they find that much gold. The Grand Canyon, one of the world's wonders.
Have you guys ever heard of the Voynich manuscript?
No, I have not.
And it's wild. The Voynich manuscript was written between 1404 and 1438.
Okay.
240 pages of medieval codex showing very detailed constellations, unknown plants and roots, and a lot of undressed women.
Oh.
No one has been able to figure out what it says. But the language that's written, they said it looks very similar to Hebrew and Latin. They think it was a hoax by someone named Edward Kelly. He would go into these trances to where he would communicate with the angels. This book was supposedly written down by his followers of what the angels were telling him. But I thought it was weird. Going back to the book of Enoch, it talks about fallen angels and what they were gifted in. One of them gifted in astrology. One was gifted in enchantments and root cuttings. This book is like all about plants and like very detailed drawings of like constellations that you couldn't even see with the naked eye. But I thought it was interesting too with the unclothed women, how the fallen angels lusted over the women of earth.
Yeah.
Is this like an account of like what they were like being taught? Because no one's been able to decipher it. Have you guys ever heard of the Voynich manuscript? And there's this saint I came across. I thought it was the coolest story ever. His name is Saint Longinus, the centurion. He was the centurion that did the spear into Jesus' side. But the story goes that his eyesight was bad, like it was degrading and stuff. When he pierced Jesus' side, the blood and water poured on his face, and he was instantly healed, his eyesight, but then instantly realized that he was the Son of God. Immediately after that, he's like, I need to go spread the gospel. And so he traveled all over the Middle East and stuff, spreading the gospel. But news got back to Pontius Pilate. So they captured him, brought him in, and they're like, deny your faith. And he said, why would I deny my faith when I know who the true king is? So what they did is like, since he gave you back your eyesight, we're going to take your eyes. And so they took his eyes out, and that didn't stop. He kept on spreading the gospel, completely blind. And then they said, well, you didn't get the hint. They cut out his tongue. But what the miracle that happened with it is that when they cut out his tongue, he was still able to speak perfectly. But they said it was almost like God was speaking through him, almost with a thunderous voice. They brought him into the temple, basically bow down before our gods, deny your faith in Jesus Christ. And he somehow grabbed a sword, swung, and cut the head off of one of the statue gods.
Let's go.
And he said, let's see what your gods do now. And as soon as he said that, an earthquake happened, and every single god in this temple fell down, shook everyone. And then the governor decided, he's like, we're done with this, and they beheaded him.
Golly, dude. So
Yeah.
much aura. Yeah,
for real.
Plus 1,000 aura.
And there's this saying, Antarctica is actually Atlantis. Yo, Plato talks about how they were just so technologically advanced. Just have fun for a second.
Yeah.
Antarctica, what if that was Atlantis? And Atlantis was a empire that was waging war on all the other empires. And the god decided to flood it because of their evilness. So
They have so much interesting takes on all of these conspiracy theories. I'm loving it. Which one of y'all think are true and which one y'all think are false? Drop that shit in the chat.
could it be that Atlantis had the technology of the Watchers, where they're technologically advanced, and God wiped them out, put them on the bottom of the earth? But could there still be remnants like the Göbekli Tepe, but like more preserved because it's been under ice for thousands and thousands of years? And then they discovered it. Now no one can name claim to it, because if you do, you have all the control. What if there are actual ancient civilizations still living on Antarctica that are still technologically advanced, and the countries around the world are given permission to be there? That's why no country has taken possession of Antarctica.
We are all in danger. It is evil itself.
Oh, that is so haunting.
And he deleted the tweet.
That's so scary.
Dude.
Antarctica is actually Atlantis. Yo, Plato talks about how they were just so technologically advanced. Just have fun for a second.
Yeah.
We are going to move on to our final one of the video. Let's do a $10,000 option. I'm down. So here we go. $10,000. Was I about to lose all my money? Or were we going to actually buy a fish that I've never seen on my channel before? All right, there we go. 10,000. Oh, there it goes. $10,000. It has to come from this side. Oh, let's go. Come on. Let's open this crazy mystery $10,000 fish. You see in there? Oh, what? Whoa! Ultra rare. Those things look crazy. Oh my gosh, those aren't just normal. Those are crazy. Those are definitely worth the money. Crazy breed of fish, guys. This is a rare flower horn right there, guys. Oh! And we got another rare one. Look at the heads. Guys, illegal fish, guys. Here we go. Oh my god. Oh crap. What do we got? Where's it go? Oh, what? Oh my gosh. Warning, danger, guys. This one's clearly way more ferocious than the last one, guys. This could be the craziest fish of the entire video. That's why I set up this pond right here all by itself. Whatever is dangerous or maybe even illegal in here, we're just gonna put right in the Jaws pond, all right? The illegal, dangerous fish that is inside of here. What is it? Oh, alrighty, ready? Oh, it's a piranha! No way! I think we should do the $100 rare fish right here one more time to see what we get out of it. Oh, it's shaking. Oh, alrighty. Oh, what the heck is inside of our mystery live fish? 3, 2. Oh, it's an axolotl. What? He's right here in the sun. He's so freaking cute. Hi, buddy. And we are putting the live fish inside of this little tank for now that we just set up. Oh, look at him. It's so cool. You know what? I'm going to... What is this? Talk about rare fish. What? What?
Time to pop a perk and go to work. This is my never-before-seen super perk form. Velma Daphne assumed the positions, and I'ma beat it up like Sonny Liston. The party don't stop till Freddy drop. Time to pop a perk and go to work. This is my never-before-seen super perk form. Velma Daphne assumed the positions, and I'ma beat it up like Sonny Liston. The party don't stop till Freddy drop. Time to pop a perk and go.
Not only is Syndrome the villain in The Incredibles, but he's also Mr. Incredible's son. Of course, there's the physical features. He has Mr. Incredible's eyes, Dash he was a kid, and Jack's hair when he was an adult, and he has freckles like Dash. But Syndrome was born well before Bob was married to Mrs. Incredible, so he likely had a child with some other woman, and she kept him, and for the child's sake, kept his identity secret and the father's identity secret. Since Mr. Incredible would have a lot of enemies as a superhero. They didn't want the child to be deaf. But this is why Mr. Incredible says, make sure his mom knows what he's been up to when talking to the police about Syndrome. And notice he says mom and not parents, because he knows exactly who Syndrome's mom is. Plus, we know if a super and a super have a baby, they'll get powers, like Violet, Dash, and Jack Jack. But because Syndrome was the product of a super and a human, his powers are far more subtle, but they're definitely there. His came in the form of super intelligence. He was able to make crazy inventions as a kid, and even made robots powerful enough to take down the superheroes. And lastly, Syndrome was obsessed with being Mr. Incredible's sidekick as a kid. He didn't care about any of the other superheroes, because he saw him as a father figure. But little did he know that Mr. Incredible was really his dad all along. Not only is Syndrome the villain in The Incredibles,
what was the biggest surprise in cartoon history to you?
So the biggest surprise in cartoon history involves one of the greatest written characters we've ever seen in a cartoon ever. And that would be the Ice King from Adventure Time. So when we were first introduced to the Ice King in Adventure Time, he was a weird old man preying on the innocent princesses of the land of Ooo. His entire obsession revolved around the idea of the royalty of these princesses. That was what he was after. And for seasons and episodes, we all thought that he was a weird, funny, creepy old man, until the 1,000-year-old vampire queen Marceline finally explained on why she cared so much about the Ice King when no one else would. Before the Lich caused the destruction of the entire planet, changing its entire foundation and structure, we see Simon Petrikov was not only a normal man, but he was a very intelligent man, studying things that were otherworldly, making novels, having people admire his work, until he found a magical crown. Then boom, the Lich destroys everything, and Simon is trying to live on this planet with everything mutated, all these monsters attacking him, similar to a Fallout scenario. But then he ran into this little girl that had no relations to him, but even so, he did everything on the planet to protect her. When she was sick, he would put his life in danger to go get her medicine, giving her stuffed toys to give her a sense of security. Mind you, Marceline still has this stuffed toy 1,000 years later, and it's her most valuable possession. But to protect her in this very dangerous world, he would always have to put on the crown. Now, this was once a magical wishing crown that could do anything your heart desires. But then it got messed up by this little dinosaur named Gunther that wanted to be like his master, who was an ice elemental, basically destroying the entire foundation of this crown. So every time anybody would put it on, they would slowly go insane. And every time Simon would put it on, he would go insane, losing himself. He knew this, Marceline knew this, but he would have to do it every time to protect her, even though he regretted it. Until he finally lost himself completely, protecting her against an entire horde against mutated monsters. And later in Fiona and Cake, we realize how important Simon was to the foundation of the world, because if he didn't exist, two things would have happened. We see that Marceline actually grew up to be extremely evil because she never got the morality from Simon. Being the daughter of the Lord of the Nidosphere and then later on becoming a vampire, she became a good guy because of Simon. She was hunting down vampires because she was nice. Without Simon involved, she started hunting down humans, and then the Vampire King showed up, and then she became his apprentice. And then the Vampire King also found the magical crown because Simon never existed, and he used the crown to make the world permanently dark so the vampires could come out during the day. Simon being a hero, being a genuine good guy, being the person that protected the entire planet by his simple morality, was the absolute last thing you were expecting when you're talking about the Ice King from the first few seasons. That's the craziest plot twist I've seen in a cartoon. And then if we're talking about the later seasons of Adventure Time and then the episodes of Fiona and Cake,
what was the biggest surprise in cartoon history to you?
So the biggest surprise in cartoon history involves one of the greatest written characters we've
There's a crazy theory on why Mr. Potato Head hates Woody so much in Toy Story. Yeah, why does he not like Woody? Okay, so there's a Reddit post, and if you really think about it, it makes so much sense. So if you look at the packaging of a Mr. Potato Head toy, it says it's for ages 2 and up. So that means Andy probably had Mr. Potato Head for most of his life. But in the movie, Mr. Potato Head says that Woody has been Andy's favorite toy since kindergarten, which is around the ages 5 or 6. So the theory is that Mr. Potato Head hates Woody because he replaced him as Andy's favorite toy in kindergarten kindergarten because Andy got too old for Mr. Potato Head. But what's even crazier is that's why Mr. Potato Head likes Buzz so much, because he wanted Woody to feel what he felt when Woody replaced him. And remember, Mr. Potato Head, when Woody was gone in the movie, Mr. Potato Head was kind of like the new leader of the group, showing that Mr. Potato Head was the leader of the group before Woody came in.
I honestly would have never guessed that there'd be so much lore between Mr. Potato Head and Woody.
There's a crazy theory on why Mr. Potato Head hates Woody so much in Toy Story.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Holy shit. My bad. I didn't mean to knock you out. I'm sorry.
Halo music. Oh, shit.
Mommy, I'm so funny and I'm wasting my time using this Kermit. Yeah.
Yo, mama.
It's so
Yo, mama.
funny.
Yo, mama.
And also, yeah, this is my meal boy.
Yeah. Not talking now, are you? You thought I was feeling you? That Kermit a munch.
Oh my god! Where's Animal?
Oh, down here. I'm the animal. Helicopter.
You know, if you go back and look at what was the first historical reference to astrology, it was the Epic of Gilgamesh. And it was almost identical to the Western astrology that we have today. Yes. Because it does seem like remarkably accurate on so many levels, right? Numerology can be like crazy accurate. And so when you start digging into it, you're like, who established all this stuff? You know, the 52 card playing deck even. Right? Where did all this stuff come from? You're going to find that literally all of it, this esoteric wisdom that seems to have withstood the passage of time, all came through Hermes Trismegistus. You know, if you go back and look at what was the first historical reference to astrology, it was the Epic of Gilgamesh. And it was almost
a guy got in a fight in the club and his friend came back from like the toilet and tried to like get in the middle of the fight and was like, what happened? And then there was all this talking and then it all just kind of went away. No one got hurt, thankfully. And I said to Tristan, if I came back from the toilet and you were in a fight, I'm not asking what happened. I'm not asking if you were right or wrong. I'm hitting people. The one who's near my brother. Afterwards, I'll find out. I don't care if you started it. He can start any fight he wants because I'm fighting. He can start any fight. He can be completely in the wrong. I'm swinging on his side. I'm loyal to him above everything. A guy got in a fight in the club and his friend came back from like the toilet and tried to like get in the middle of the fight and was like, what happened? And then there was all this talking and then it all just kind of went away. No one got hurt.
There's a guy in the NBA, his name is Grady Dick. So the announcers are having a hard time all season because the guy's name is Dick. It's throwing them off their game. I don't know what's going on, but listen to this.
This is Dick trying to penetrate inside.
They try to go backdoor with Dick. Dick hard charging to the cup. Dick is going to score.
Dick was coming wide open back door.
Dick couldn't hit it.
Dick goes down. Dick rises up. Dick goes down. Mobile win. Dick is out.
Dick's struggling big time tonight. It's a big deal. The guy's name is Dick, and it's no reason to get too uptight, but NBA announcers are now stopping saying Dick's name. They're being macho. Like, hey, man, I'm not saying Dick anymore. Like, oh, yeah.
Oh, really? They're discussing how they're not going to use Dick.
Yeah.
Grady Dick's third bucket of the game. Brings it back to 19.
Let's just call it Grady. Let's just call it Grady for the rest of the game.
Number 4, Grady. I'm not going to read his last name.
Hey, this boy balling right here, y'all.
I think I pointed that out, Grady Dick. I can't say his name. I just can't say his name.
I'm not going to say Dick is dribbling. I mean, then you'll think I'm maybe funny.
Dick is penetrating. Dick is going in.
Yeah. There's a guy in the NBA. His name is Grady.
Whatever, man. It's a trick. No, it's much more than that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Can I hear? I'm sorry. I'm terrible sorry. It's for. I'm sorry. Deadlift. Can I try? I have knowledge.
Yes, of course.
Deadlift's my favorite. Oh, it's a fake? Wait. It's like my warm-up. It's It's easy. Like bicycle and press. Your chest working here, abs working. Yes, I very like it. Training. Okay, girls, enjoy. I'm sorry. Let's go on for it.
Thor.
There's a great line from Rick and Morty where Rick says or does something that's honest but controversial and everyone's booing. And he says, you know, your boos don't mean anything to me. I've seen what you people cheer for. I felt that when I heard it. Like, it's a cartoon, but I felt that because I thought, yeah, if you want to conduct the orchestra, you know, you got to turn your back on the audience. Like, if you want to do something beautiful, you have to do something different very often, and you have to do it in a very unafraid way. There's a great line from Rick and Morty where Rick says or does something.
The secret side of me, I never let you see. I keep it caged, but I can't control it. So stay away from me, the beast is ugly. I feel the rage and I just can't hold it. It's scratching on the walls, in the closet, in the halls. It comes awake and I can't control it. Hiding under the bed, in my body, in my head. Why won't somebody come and save me from this? Make it in. I feel it deep within, it's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I hate what I've become, the nightmare's just begun. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I feel like a monster. I feel like a monster.
Did you know your body has different types of energy for different activities? Low-intensity activities are aerobic, stuff like walking or light jogging. Making dietary fat is the main fuel, as it burns slowly and it's longer lasting, making it efficient for long, light activities. High-intensity efforts like weightlifting or combat sports are anaerobic, making your body use carbs for quick energy from glucose in your body. It's efficient for short, intense efforts. Similarly, your body uses ATP for even shorter bursts of energy, typically for explosive movements like sprinting and plyometrics. And in rare extreme endurance events like ultra marathons, your body may even break down muscle protein for energy when carbs and fat run low. So no matter the exercise, your body needs all macronutrients for different types of energy and uses. Don't cut out any, as each plays a crucial role. And follow if you want to see more fitness breakdowns like this. Did you know?
Fuck is that gorilla at, dog? Get his ass out here right now. Hey, Roxanne. Line me up another L. It's about to get physical. Ooh, shit. Hey. Yeah, come on, bitch ass nigga. Oh, shit. I got my arm, huh? Fuck is that gorilla at, dog? Get his ass out here right now. Hey, Roxanne. Line me up another L. It's about to get physical. Ooh, shit. Hey. Yeah, come on, bitch ass nigga. Oh, shit. I got my arm, huh?
Think about it like this. A man with only one wife, okay, that's good. He's faithful. But a man with 3 women, that's 3 times more faithfulness than the beta with only one wife.
The show goes on!
Think about it like this. A man with only one wife, okay, that's good. He's faithful. But a man with 3 women, that's 3 times more faithfulness.
2025 isn't just another year. It's mathematically magical. It's 45 squared, a perfect square. The last one was in 1936. The next isn't until 2116. For most of us, this is the only perfect square you will ever live through. 2025 is also the sum of the first 45 odd numbers. It's the square of the sum of the first 9, and it's also the sum of the cubes of the first 9. Perfectly aligned, perfectly balanced, like the universe saying, now is the time. In numerology, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9, and 9 means completion, the end of a cycle, a portal for rebirth. So what if 2025 is a signal, a rare chance to rewrite the patterns that have shaped your life? This isn't a year to repeat old loops. It's a year to reprogram your mind and finally become the person your soul came here to be. Not through hustle, but through alignment, through repetition, through subconscious transformation. Comment 2025 and access the most powerful tool for
The Titanic was actually a hit job.
What?
Really? Yeah, so basically what happened was all the richest people in the world in 1912 were supposed to be on this ship. You had the Rothschilds and their basically lackeys at that time who were called J.P. Morgan. And all of these guys are supposed to be on this ship, but there's also another guy who was on that ship. His name was Mr. Usher. He was the richest man in America at that time. He owned 40% of every mortgage in America. Imagine, this guy's a gangster. I'm not saying he's a good guy. This guy was in the way of the Federal Reserve. They wanted to create a central bank, the Rothschilds. They can't just take someone out of that importance. They made this big deal, everyone going on the ship. Yeah. And then in the last seconds, all the Rothschilds people exited the ship. Like right before it was about to take off, the ship sunk. All of a sudden, the richest guy in America died on the ship. And all of a sudden, all the politicians who he was basically bribing, all that money evaporated. So they went all to the Rothschild side. And then next year, 1913, they started the Federal Reserve Bank because there was no more opposition to it. Yeah. Okay, these are criminals. They got away with it, so it is what it is. I mean, the Titanic.
Have you ever heard of the story, the Epic of Gilgamesh? The story was written 2000 BC. The story talks about how he was 2/3 God and 1/3 man. And the claim was that he was 17 feet tall.
Oh, man.
And he was this brutal king, like just tyrant. The story goes that he was buried under the Euphrates River.
That's drying up.
Well, here's the thing. In 2003, a archaeologist by the name of York Fassbinder, he was in the Mesopotamia area and doing like the whole LiDAR thing. And what he said is, I have found the tomb of Gilgamesh.
Oh my gosh.
But it's underground, right? So they have to like dig it up. Guess what happened 1 month later?
Earthquake.
The U.S. invades Iraq.
Oh my gosh!
No way. Oh, man.
This is where it gets crazy.
Yeah.
All the archaeological sites were then stopped in Iraq. So stop digging. You're out of here. But the locals around this encampment, the U.S. encampment, reported that the U.S. military were digging at night, taking things out of the ground and putting them onto trucks and driving them off.
We're villains.
Have you ever heard of the story?
The Vatican tried to speak to God. Something else answered. In 1997, a classified session was held deep beneath Vatican City. No public records. Only what was leaked years later. Documents labeled the Seraphim Code. According to the files, a team of priests and linguists attempted a ritual communication, believing they could reach divine intelligence. But what they contacted wasn't God. It called itself Seraphim, but it didn't speak in words, only in frequencies, tones, like static wrapped in a scream. Transcripts describe priests bleeding from the ears. One began speaking in a language no one recognized. Another clawed at his own eyes, saying, "It sees through me." Then, silence. One priest unalived himself within 48 hours. The Vatican denied everything, called it a hoax, but the documents were watermarked, and real-time audio logs were found, with the voice. It doesn't sound like a voice. It sounds like something trying to be one. Some believe Seraphim is divine. Others say it's older and darker. Because once the door opened, it never fully closed. The Vatican tried to speak to God. Something else.
When you've been boning the same special woman for as long as I have, you learn how to really turn her inside out with your rock-hard cock.
Since we've met, we've thousands of times. But even today, there's nobody I'd rather have deep dicking me at night and dicking me again in the morning.
People ask how we've lasted so long, and I say it's all about accepting change. When Doris was younger, she liked to be thrown around like a rag doll. But these days, she doesn't care what I do as long as I give her pussy the drilling it needs.
On the other hand, he's still the same old Isaac. He loved coming on my tits 55 years ago, and he still does today.
Well, heck, if it ain't broke. My parents actually started each other in 1927, and they continued banging in every conceivable position until my father died in 1977. I like to think that he taught me a little something about blowing my load in the same hole night after night.
We want people to know how important it is to find someone to fuck. I mean, really fuck the living shit out of. If you can do that for 55 years, I guess you're doing something right.
When you've been boning the same special...
There's a theory that Sinners, the whole story about the musician, the kid that was playing the music that attracted all of the demons and all of the vampires, he is based off Robert Johnson.
This gift can bring fame and fortune.
Will somebody take me in your eyes?
But it also can pierce the veil between life and death.
This was really interesting because we actually talked about this story before. Oh, remember I told you that story about Robert Johnson, the first guy to ever sell his soul?
You playing guitar.
Fell down on my knees.
Holy.
Holy?
I want to play guitar. I want you to make me the best blues man ever lived.
If that's what you want.
How do we shake on it?
He even dresses like him. Look. Let me see.
Picture. I can see that though. Like that's the main story about selling your soul. So why not use him?
There's a picture of Robert Johnson, and that's him right there. And his hat was always tilted like that.
Really?
Yeah, fam. There's a theory that Sinners, the whole story about...
Breaking news, a Disneyland is coming to Alcatraz Island. Disney purchased the famous island for $30 billion. This will be... A man was decapitated on Space Mountain yesterday. According to official reports, the man's head was cut clean off when passing under the track at a high speed. Apparently, his lap bar came loose during the middle of the ride, so he decided to stand up. Witnesses in the same car as him said the man shouted, quote, "Look at me, I'm surfing through space," right before tragedy struck. It was one of the witnesses' first times ever on Space Mountain. Initially, they thought it was normal to stand, and when his blood splattered, they thought it was a water effect. It wasn't until the ride ended that they realized the man's head was sliced clean off. This is very similar to the man who lost his hands on Space Mountain, which we reported on earlier. Unfortunately, the man was pronounced dead at a local hospital.
Hello?
Hello? What do you want?
You called me. Hello?
This super fat girl told me that she had 150 bodies. And I'm thinking, like, who are these guys?
You know what I'm saying? It's like we have demons walking among us. You don't know who they are. They could be your best friend. You don't even know. She was like 230 if I had to eyeball, 230 to 250. And it's like, I do respect guys that fuck fat bitches though, because it takes work. Anyone can have sex with a petite, skinny girl. You know what I'm saying? That's not impressive. But to fuck a fat girl, first you need the dick length to even get there, depending on how big she is. Like some people, your dick won't even make it through the layer of fat to get to her vagina. Like you can maybe get the tip in if you're lucky. Top of that, if she's riding you, you could just die. You know what I'm saying? If she wants to be thrown around, you need to have some size on you. Like there's no skinny, emo e-boy tossing around fat bitches with ease. You got to have some, you know what I'm saying, some muscle on you. You know what I'm saying? Play some sports. Anyway, follow for more tips. This super fat girl told
You are, and I want you to know, baby, I love you like a love song, baby. You are, and I want you to know, baby, I love you like a love song, baby. You are.
Why the f is your camera so smooth? What the? Yo.
Because I'm the best wrestler in the damn world. Who am I?
I don't know.
I'll tell you.
John Cena.
No, I'm John Pena.
What the Yo! Make it come out of your mouth.
Well, Daddy, chill with that. How about I blow your mind with a card trick?
Alright, bet.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Watch.
What the How are you doing that?
That's why it's magic. And it looks like it's our time to get in the ring. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Remember this card.
Okay.
What's my name?
I don't know.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, the unseen All-American champ. SmackDown
What's
so
up?
hot, it's melting your grandma's panties. John Cena!
I have just one question for you.
Yeah?
Are you ready?
Are you ready for this Sunday night when WWE champ John
Cena
defends his title in the WWE Super Slam?
Oh my god. There's no way he's gonna get it. You're not gonna get it. Yo, you got a nigga YouTube channel. Oh shit. There's no way. You didn't get it. You didn't get it. Nah. What the? Yo, what the? Yo, what the? Is that nut? You're lying. There's no way you got it. Is this real or is this fake? Yo, what the?
And it's indeed really all of it, the whole show. And if you enjoyed
Bro, I love you, bro.
well, I love you too. Then give her a kiss for me.
Don't miss the best magician in the world.
There's a guy named Artem who is Connor's best friend. He's from Russia. Habib is from Russia too. Okay. There was some kind of Russian stuff.
Can you see this?
Could?
Can
you see the sunset from the south side.
You think okay?
See you around.
I've been thinking about it in that poem. That guy that wrote it, he meant you're gold when you're a kid, like green. When you're a kid, everything's new. Dawn. Like the way you dig sunsets, Pony, that's gold. Keep it that way. It's a good way to be. I want you to ask Dally to look at one. I don't think
The gods envy us we're doing.
That's who we are. Three vatos locos full of carnalismo, trying to survive in a fucking war zone. But what I know now, bro, is that I need my familia to do it. We all do. Even you. Don't back away, vato. Life's a risk, carnal. Remember, you said it yourself. Pues órale, step into the ring and throw down, eh? You a badass? Take care of business, Holmes. Caiga, puto.
Get up, Chucky! Get up! You fuck with my familia, eh? You gotta answer to me here and now. Come on, toe to toe. Let's go, motherfucker! Let's see what kind of man you are in daylight. What's the matter, Spider? You were scared of me? I'm gonna catch you on the fucking rebound, punk! I'm gonna squash you like the BJ bug you are. Come on, motherfucker!
I wanna see your titty breasts. Could you please pull them out?
I hope everybody has a magnificent night. All right, with that being said, y'all remember to like, share, and subscribe. Bye for now. Good night and sweet dreams. Yeah, bye.